Road to Race gets security boost. CCTV system donated. Now the details. A mentally ill man who breached security at the Hunts Bay police station earlier this week has been released without charge. Reports are that the man was released to his family after it was determined that he was not a security threat. On Tuesday night, the man entered the barracks at the station after gaining access through a side gate. After entering, the man gained access to police paraphernalia and was later seen dressed in a police uniform. While walking around a section of the station, the man was confronted by a sergeant. When questioned, he told the policeman he was a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. He was later taken into custody. Meanwhile, 2 members of the force are under investigation by the Inspectorate of the Constabulary after a photograph of the mentally challenged man was published on social media. The photograph with the man wearing a police vest and police pants has been circulated on social media over the last few days. Reports are that the policeman who took the photograph has confessed to investigators. He told them he sent the picture to one of his colleagues and was not responsible for it circulating on social media. The other cop is being questioned, and both are facing internal disciplinary action. The Westmoreland police have seized more than 122 pounds of ganja and arrested 4 people. The seizure was made by police attached to the Area 1 Transnational Crime and Narcotics Division and the Negril Operational Support Team in Nampreel District, Westmoreland, yesterday. Those arrested are 26-year-old Sanya Guthrie of Nampreel Road, 47-year-old Maxwayne Pringle of Sheffield District, 58-year-old farmer Euphemius Stevens of Sheffield, and 33-year-old labourer Damien Woolcock of Fairmont. The police say the team of police personnel who went on the operation discovered a ganja field. A search of the area was subsequently conducted, and the 4 persons discovered in a hut near the field packing ganja. They were subsequently arrested and charged. The police say the illicit drug has an estimated street value of $600,000. The accused are scheduled to appear before the Savlamar RM Court on September 9. 4 men, including 2 Colombian nationals, were yesterday sentenced on cocaine and trafficking charges in the Port Maria RM Court. Jamaicans Norman Brown and Dwight White and Colombians Juan Jimenez and Milicia Arialos were each fined $500,000 or 15 months imprisonment each for possession of cocaine. Additionally, they were sentenced to 12 months in prison. On the charge of trafficking in person, they were fined $500,000 or 15 months imprisonment. If the fines are not paid, they'll serve 30 months, as the sentences are consecutive, in addition to the 12 months on the cocaine charge. The Crown led evidence that on December 18, 2011, the JDF Coast Guard intercepted a vessel 4 miles off the coast of Port Maria. The men on board threw a barrel overboard, which was retrieved by soldiers and found to contain 94 packages of cocaine, weighing 208 pounds. 59-year-old Arnold Gabidon, a farmer of Roden Hall, Kellets, Clarendon, who was wanted in the United States for the offense of assault with intent to murder, burglary with assault, mayhem and assault and battery, has been extradited to the USA. Gabidon was arrested on Wednesday, August 5, by members of the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, CTOC. He appeared in the Corporate Area RM Court on Thursday, August 13, where he waived his rights to an extradition hearing. He also agreed to be extradited to the USA to answer to the allegations there against him. Gabidon was taken to the Norman Manley International Airport on Wednesday, where he was handed over to a U.S. Marshal. He was taken to Boston, Massachusetts, where he'll be housed at the Middlesex County Jail. You're listening to the Midday News on Newstalk 93 FM. It's 6.5 minutes after 12. The Jamaica Labour Party has called for an audit of the government's tablets in school project. Opposition spokesman on education, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, says an audit should be carried out on the project as she believes it does not enhance teaching or learning in schools. She says the method of training teachers for the classroom needs to be revised if the tablet computers are to serve the purpose for which they were intended. Senator Johnson-Smith says the government should not seek to spend any more money on the tablets in school project until a full audit is done. Last month, Education Minister, the Reverend Ronald Thwaites, announced that all teachers' colleges will receive computer tablets during this 2015-16 academic year. Approximately 30,000 tablets have been distributed to students in primary and secondary schools and some teachers' colleges. The initiative is being done to increase the use of technology and to optimize learning opportunities within and outside the formal school system. Meanwhile, the JLP is expected to use a press conference currently underway at the Belmont Road headquarters to call for the Health Ministry to release the full details of an audit into health facilities. The audit highlighted inadequate systems and infrastructure for the prevention and control of infections, insufficient hygiene and practice, and inadequate supplies of items such as gowns and aprons. However, the ministry has said it decided not to release the full report because it did not want the public to have negative views about the public health facilities. According to the party, opposition spokesman on health Senator Marlene Malahou-Fort and deputy spokesman on health Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, they will use the opportunity to raise concerns about matters related to the management and functioning of the health sector. The JLP says the party will also be speaking on the government's reluctance to make full details regarding the findings of the audit available. Minister of Health Dr. Fenton Ferguson says the ministry has started the implementation of a pharmacy management information system which will help to track items, their availability and expiration date, as well as order levels. He says this will increase the efficiency of the management of drugs throughout the public health sector as the government continues to address the issues of shortage of pharmaceuticals at some public health facilities. Dr. Ferguson says the system will afford Jamaicans a national picture and allow for the movement of drugs from one facility to another as required, or the movement of drugs to places where utilization is greater, thereby reducing wastage and spoilage. He says the Health Ministry will be spending a total of $8 billion to procure pharmaceuticals, sundries, and reagents for the public health sector. Minister of Education Ronald Thwaites says early childhood education should be focused on both academic achievement and socialization. Addressing yesterday's behavior management breakfast, the minister said he believes the important period of orientation is at the early childhood stage. He says socialization should be the focus of early childhood education as of this school year.
It isn't as important for the children to learn the timetables and to be reading by the time they're 3.5 or 5. What is important for them at the early childhood experience, when they are properly nourished and encouraged by the partnership of parents and their teachers, is for them to learn, how to cooperate, how to stand in a line, why to reverence the flag, how to say yes sir and no ma'am, how to behave themselves. If they learn these things at the early childhood level, the academic and other areas will be well advanced when they get to that age. Can we reorient early childhood education towards socialization with an intensity that we have not seen in the past?
Thwaites says at the primary level, it is only reasonable to expect students to achieve certain levels of literacy and numeracy, as well as to adopt proper behavior.
The primary level, it's not a question of stripping down in order to demean all that is evident in our schools, but the basic things are that at age 8, a child has reasonable mastery of English and of the principles of numeracy. But the third element of primary school is proper behavior pattern. If all that we did in our primary schools was to reinforce adequate behavior and have appropriate standards of literacy and numeracy, we would have achieved more than we are achieving right now.
Education Minister Ronald Thwaites. The breakfast was held to inform stakeholders of steps taken so far by the ministry and its partners to respond to the surge in the maladaptive behavior of some students. The Education Ministry says it has implemented a number of behavior modification management programs with a view to implementing systems to curb antisocial behavior in educational institutions. Security in Ocho Rios has been boosted with the official handing over of a closed-circuit television CCTV system to the Ocho Rios Police by the Ministries of Tourism and Entertainment and National Security. The system, valued at $107 million, comes equipped with 36 cameras placed at strategic locations throughout the town. Speaking at the CCTV handing over ceremony, National Security Minister Peter Bunting said the government is contemplating the development of a national monitoring center for a wide area closed-circuit television surveillance system. He says this wide area CCTV would consist of various video feeds to include feeds from sources other than those being used by the police.
Using a wide area network so that we can actually have a national monitoring center where all the CCTV systems, not just the ones being used by the police, but the ones being used by the National Works Agency, the ones being used by some of the parish councils, the ones being used by even private operators who are willing to patch them in to the national system, because the value of the system really increases almost exponentially based on the number of cameras that you have on it.
National Security Minister Peter Bunting. The CCTV system will be operated by 12 district constables who have been trained to operate it. Ocho Rios joins Montego Bay, Maypen, and Mandeville as towns where CCTV surveillance has been installed. The CARICOM Youth Ambassadors, CYAs, have launched a 2-month I Am CARICOM drive to raise money for storm-affected Dominica. The CYA says the drive has been named I Am CARICOM as the region declares as one single Caribbean community to be each other's keeper. It follows the passage of Tropical Storm Erica last week, which left more than 24 people dead and caused widespread damage to Dominica's infrastructure. The Dominican government has declared 9 special disaster areas. Through the drive, the CYAs will seek monetary contributions from respective country district youth councils, schools, community groups, and churches of the member states where youth ambassadors are present, and make these funds available to the 2 youth ambassadors in Dominica to assist young people there who are in need. The effort officially began on Wednesday and concludes on October 31. The United Kingdom is to provide resettlement to thousands more Syrian refugees in response to the worsening humanitarian crisis. UK Prime Minister David Cameron says no figure has been decided, but the extra refugees would come from camps bordering Syria, not from among those already in Europe. He also announced a further £100 million in humanitarian aid for those in camps in Syria, Turkey, Jordan, and Lebanon. Earlier this week, Cameron said accepting more people was not the simple answer to the situation, described by some as the worst humanitarian crisis in Europe since World War II. And finally, in the midday news, jihadist militants from Islamic State, IS, have blown up 3 funerary towers at the ancient city of Palmyra. Syria's antiquities chief says they included the Tower of El Ahbel, built in AD 103 and one of the best preserved. The multi-story sandstone monument standing outside the city walls in an area known as the Valley of the Tombs belong to the rich Palmyrene families. Their demolition comes only days after IS blew up Palmyra's 2 main temples. That's news. Let's look at the weather. There is a high-pressure ridge across the northern Caribbean and Jamaica. This ridge is expected to persist across the northern Caribbean until tomorrow. For the rest of this afternoon, expect isolated showers and thunderstorms mainly across inland and hilly areas. Tonight, it will be mainly fair. To end the news, the main points. Mentally ill man who breached security at the Hunts Bay police station released without charge. 4 arrested as police seize 122 pounds of ganja in Westmoreland. JLP calls for an audit of the Tablets in School project. And Ocho Rios gets a security boost as the CCTV system has been installed. That's the Midday News here on Newstalk 93 FM. I'm Errol Lee. Stand by for the news in the Jamaican language.
Broadcast Jamaican and Newstalk 93 FM now gear the news in the Jamaican language.
Good afternoon. My name is Kadeen Marshall, and this are the news in the Jamaican language. Gregory Mayer, where the MP for North East St. Catherine, sent one letter to the Jamaica Labour Party JLP Secretariat saying I left the work as chairman for the constituency. Him say him now run back as the next MP in the election too. Mayor say a time now for him focus on him family and him business, but being a suffer cause him involved in politics. After Gregory Mayer sent him, say him left the work as MP for North East St. Catherine, Sharon A. Webster says she want to run as MP for the constituency. This come 2 months after she been want to run against Mayor for the seat. April gone, Mayor been write one letter to Robert Montague, where the chairman for the party, accused Webster a campaign in his constituency. Some reports that the JLP are talk about Mayor left the party today. The Jamaican government sent 59 years old Arnold Gabbardine gone America. He been wanted up there cause him broke in his wife's house and stabbed her up, but she never did. Some police from the counter-terrorism and organized band CTOC been lock up Gabbardine on August 5th. He been go before the Corporate Area Magistrate Court and him agree for them send him to America. Them carry him go to Norman Manley International Airport Wednesday and give him to some police from America. News from the rest of the Caribbean. The Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, CDEMA, have some people in Dominica right now to help clean up the country. Joanne Prasad, where the program manager, were in charge of response and recovery, said them being deep on standby before the storm mash up the country. She said them know the area them will mash up bad and them have people in them area there are going to help out. News from foreign. Thousands of migrants have been stuck at the Budapest railway train station for days, start walk on foot, so them go to Austria. Migrant people left them country, go on next country for live. The people them in Hungary are try to keep the people them out of them country, where try reach Western Europe. Same time, the leader them in the Europe are cuss about how them a deal with the migrant them. The head of the UN refugees said the EU country them must accept the over 200,000 refugees them. My name is Kadeen Marshall, and that's the news in the Jamaican language. Wait upon the weather. Now for the weather. One weak high pressure ridge across the north part of the Caribbean and Jamaica. The ridge will stay in the Caribbean until Saturday. Now for Jamaica all day weather. This afternoon, we will look out for some rain and thunderstorm across the inland and hilly area them. Tonight, the weather will go alright. My name is Kadeen Marshall, and that's the weather in the Jamaican language.
Broadcast Jamaican and Newstalk 93 FM just gave the news in the Jamaican language.
The Midday Sports Report is brought to you by Newstalk 93 FM, life-changing sports radio.
Good afternoon. With your midday sports report here on Newstalk 93 FM, I am Mikhail Drama Johns, and we begin with track and field. 100 meters world champion Shelley-Ann Fraser-Pryce was one of 16 athletes who yesterday earned the Diamond League trophies. The historic 100 meters runner, the first woman to claim a world championship 100 meters treble, and consecutively ran into a 1.4 meters per second headwind to post a winning 10.93 seconds at the Diamond League meeting in Zurich, Switzerland. Second was Nigeria's Blessing Okekbare in 10.98 seconds, and the third American Tori Bowie. Also in that race were Jamaicans Veronica Campbell-Brown and Natasha Morrison, who were 6th 6th and 7th respectively. Meanwhile, in the B race, world champs 200 meters silver medalist Elaine Thompson won in 11.06 seconds. Jamaican compatriots Sharon Simpson and Karen Stewart were 2nd and 4th respectively with times of 11.27 seconds and 11.33 seconds. The Jamaican ladies would also contest a 4x100 meters relay, closing events with a new meet record of 41.60 seconds in a race which was a repeated finish of the recent world champs, with America 2nd and Trinidad and Tobago 3rd. There is now one remaining Diamond League meeting set for next Friday in Brussels, Belgium, where another 16 trophies will be earned. Moving on to football, with Jamaica set to face Nicaragua this evening in a qualifying game for the 2018 World Cup in Russia, Reggae Bow's Michael Hector says the Central Americans will not be taken lightly. Jamaica, ranked 52nd, will face a 139th place Nicaragua at the National Stadium for an 8 p.m. kickoff. Meanwhile, coach Winfred Schaefer says the players have good motivation, good spirit, and everybody has more confidence than before. Meanwhile, he touched on the absence of some key players. Among them are Wes Morgan, Joby McAnuff, Gareth McCleary, and Jermaine Taylor. Schaefer also says they are in a new situation now, as they are favourites. He says as such the players must be prepared for that mentality. This evening's encounter marks the first of a two-leg encounter, with the return leg to be played next Tuesday. And Central defender Hector, recently signed from English Premier League EPL champions Chelsea, says both legs will see the boys implementing a professional approach to get the job done. Last evening's KSA five-a-side action saw Prime Sports being awarded 3 points and 3 goals, as Quest Security were a no-show. Meanwhile, RGL Limited and Jamaica Flour Mills played out a 0-0 stalemate, and Alcor beat UTEC 4-1. Other games saw Transporter Authority beating Surrey Hotel Management 3-1, Hatches NTA blanking Jamaica Yellow Pages 2-0, and Unicom be scoring, or rather Progressive Grocers and Scotia A ending their game 1-1. Meanwhile, further afield, Wales are now within 3 points of qualification for next year's European Championships. This comes after Real Madrid's Gareth Bale yesterday gave them a late winner in their Group B encounter versus host Cyprus. His 82nd minute netting was the only one for the game, and the Welsh now have 17 points at the top of the tables. They lead Belgium, who beat Bosnia-Herzegovina 3-1. And finally, in cricket, Australia yesterday handed host England a 59-run defeat in Game 1 of the one-day international ODI series. Opening batting, the visitors from Down Under put up 305 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in their 50 overs. They then limited England to 246 runs with 27 balls on bowled. And that's it for the Midday Sports Report here on Newstalk 93 FM. I am Mikhail Drama Johns, wishing you a good afternoon.